Shut up and sit down.
All these downed guys are super strong, beef mountains.
Gonna ride my bicycle, no matter where I go. I'm gonna take it fast, I'm gonna take it slow. I'm gonna go over there, over that log and tree. I'm gonna take it to see you, I'm gonna take it to see me.
What's kickin' little chicken? You are listening to the Dialed Podcast with Matt Lee Grand, Evan Price, Lance Hepler, and Jake Von Turing. Tip of the day from a quote by Abraham Lincoln. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. It's never too soon for some good old-fashioned preparation.
Can't go far on a bike with no radio star. So I strap my Walkman straight to my handlebars, stuck dipping roads with cameras and air guitars. People laugh, people holler, I don't care. This ain't fair, it's worth there with the Mustang pantyhose. It's cold out there with their mustaches.
Woohoo, bikes.
All right, welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I'm Jake Von Turing, and I'm here with Lance friggin' Hepler.
Lance friggin' Hepler.
For your listening pleasure.
For your listening pleasure.
And it is a pleasure.
Friggin' broken. To Lance's left, the one and only Matt LeGrand.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys are looking good. Looking good.
Liar.
Yeah, I lie. It's one of my many talents.
Good liar.
Good liar.
It's one of my many talents.
How you boys doing?
We're surviving.
Yeah?
Surviving.
I'm not doing good.
I mean, if by surviving it means like we're still breathing and not accomplishing the things that you're supposed to get done, then yeah, we're surviving.
I'm not exactly sure how we managed to get together to actually record this week because it's all been a
First of all-
disaster for all of us.
First of all, how are you even up on like not laying down on your back?
Dude, I haven't left my house in 5 days. This is the first time I've left my house since Sunday.
Man.
Yikes.
So it's Thursday.
Let's call this part of the back pedal. And what the hell happened? I actually don't know.
Yeah, what did happen to you, man? Matt, Lance?
That's the question. I don't really know what
So
happened.
you're probably playing around. Something happened.
No. So the whole plan was go race Saturday at Cascade Locks, cyclocross, and then race Sunday. You know, Sunday is the costume day. It's all going to be this big party. It was a blast
Right,
the last
right.
Time out. Let's backpedal.
All right. So Saturday.
You had a costume.
So Saturday, not costume race, showed up, but
Okay.
it was freaking freezing cold. It was like
Yeah, it was.
30 mile an hour wind gusts out
Yeah.
there. It was sunny, but it was really cold.
Yeah.
And even though it was dry, the course was wetter and muddier, stickier, thicker, muddier than we kind of expected. And so it made it a little rough. I don't know. I went out Friday night. I made a little pre-ride video so the teammates could see the course. After that, my back started to hurt on Friday night. I could feel it starting to lock up and go out. And I thought, what the hell? But I rolled up and raced anyway on Sunday.
okay.
And as soon as the race was finished, I literally rolled across the finish line, leaned over my bike, and I realized
Yeah.
I can't stand up straight.
The normal leg that is affected by the back.
I don't know. I think I know.
Not leg.
I think
It's
I know
just-
what happened.
It's just my back.
Just
I think your white booty pants were just a little too tight for you, dude.
So I was in regular kit. I wish I was in my white booty pants.
So that the dress up was the next day.
The dress up was the next day.
and you were donezo.
I was donezo. I actually wasn't going to go out there. Knew I wasn't going to race. I knew that my race season is over. It's all good. I have had a long, very good race season.
Sure.
How many races again, Lance?
I think I did
lose count.
45 race days.
45?
45 race days this last year.
I did 3.
I did 0. I don't know.
It was good. I mean, I won 7 races and I made the podium in like 18 races. I mean, I had a phenomenal season. It all just
Better
fell
ratio over
apart.
here. I was 3 for 3 on podiums.
Yeah,
so.
you are. You rock.
So like you got off your bike on Saturday and you were
Yep.
just like, I gotta try to get home.
Yes, correct.
Was your family, wife there, or anyone to
No,
help?
nobody was there. I was
just, like-
able to get to the van and like load up.
I'm
and
still
drive
sticking with the
home.
white booty pants, dude. Those were the problem because I know that you were sending us all kinds of
I
videos.
said videos.
My eyes still hurt, but you know what?
I was so excited to race in this outfit. It was
Yeah.
gonna be friggin' hilarious.
Yeah,
I
you were
would-
probably struggling to get those pants on, like
Oh my gosh.
jarring all over the place on the ground. And yeah,
Yeah.
never
Could be.
mind.
Could be.
Anyway,
Use your imagination, folks.
kind of crazy on Sunday. So I obviously I didn't do the race on Sunday. So Saturday's race, I raced the 50 plus. I think I ended up like 14th in a field of 50. Okay, that was decent for being broken, which was not bad. But Sunday, I didn't even leave the house. I thought, okay, I'm not gonna go do this. And by about 10 a.m., I realized I need to go out there. I just need to go out there.
Okay, so you didn't race.
I didn't race.
I did not know that. I saw
Yes.
pictures of you out there, so I just assumed Lance raced his bike out
I
there.
did not
So,
race on Sunday.
Nope.
I literally put my costume on, drove out there. I'm like, I can't ruin this. I can't
Costume is so good.
I can't not wear this costume. This is the only thing I had to wear this costume to because my kids are all gone. There's no Halloween
just
crap
come over to our
going on
house.
anymore. I should have come to your. I almost came over here, but I wasn't really walking.
Go to Costco in it this weekend.
Wednesday, I should have.
Dude, that would be freaking awesome.
So I didn't really want to miss out on the costume day, so I drove out there in my costume.
You're limping.
And I'm limping. I'm not walking very well. I practically had to get handicap parking so I could make it to the side of the race course. But it wasn't quite the same this year as it was last year. Last year was a huge party, everybody in costume, lots of people there. It was like an event. It was like the funnest race I did last year by far. And so I don't want to miss this again. However, it was colder on Sunday in Cascade Locks. The wind was blowing harder.
Yeah.
Everybody took their tents down because the wind was blowing that hard. People weren't hanging out at the race, on the side of the race. They were hiding in their cars, getting out of their cars, doing their race, going back to hiding in their cars.
What was the ambient temperature?
It felt like it was 35 degrees
With the feel like of?
with the feel like 27.
That's cold in the
Yeah.
wind, yeah.
And so, the course went through a big, huge mud puddle where your feet would get wet, and everybody was freezing. So it just wasn't the same. And I actually didn't stay. I only went out and stayed for like an hour or two, enough for the team to load up all the team tents and stuff into my van, which are still in my van because
It's a good place for 'em.
I'm just leave them in my van. So anyway, that was it. I did not race. I didn't even stick around for all the races. I drove home Sunday afternoon. I crawled up to my room, and I didn't really leave my room until I drove here this morning.
Jeez.
It's Thursday, so
So, are
been a
you
rough-
taking ibuprofen? Are you
yeah.
have a plan of attack? Here?
I'm not having leg problems. It's just lower back
good.
pain. So I know this is one of those week-long things that I've gone through over the last 5 or 6 years. I know it's going to be trouble for a week, and I'll be okay. So my off season started on Saturday, and so I haven't hardly moved since Saturday. I'm just trying to take it easy, trying to stay off my back.
So rewind for me one more time. This started on Friday when you went out to do the pre-ride.
Correct.
Did you start filling it at all on Thursday? Was it tight at all, or was all okay?
No, nothing. So
I
don't
still
know.
think it white booty pants, or it might have been just hanging out with me doing the podcast last week, and I rubbed off on you. You get this like inconclusive pain for no freaking reason that just breaks your entire body, and then all of a sudden you can't ride bikes.
I have an eerily similar story to tell you. On Saturday, I go for 8-mile long run, longest run I've done in a little while. Felt really good the whole time. Get on the bus, and we sit kind of like this on the bus, right? Like it's like just super tight
curled
position. You
up.
curled
That's
up.
kind of doing like a cannonball over there.
Yeah,
On
cannonball.
Yeah.
And you sit like that for, 6 hours, right? Like the bus just, like riding the bus with kids. Get up the next day on Sunday, and I go for 5K with David Goodman, one of a friend of the podcast.
Very cool.
We felt fine, no problem. And we were running, and I was like, oh, this is going to be like a PR for 5K because we were moving decently at the end of it. I was like, you've totally turned into decent runner. Last time I ran with him, we were running like 12-minute pace. This time I looked at the watch and I'm like, Dave, that was like an 8:30 mile. Like he's just become a decent runner. So felt fine. Next day, I go do the same thing, basically like another 5K. And I just feel this like pop in my hip. Like it's just like front hip flexor. And I'm a mile and a half out and my wife's like, hey, teacher conferences, I told you that this was going to happen at 12:15. Where are you? And I'm like, I got to hustle back to get to the teacher conference thing. And like, I'm like limping and hustling or whatever. And like, I haven't run since.
Welcome to Old Man
Old man talk.
Old Man Talk.
I know my hip's like
What's broken on you?
another week or so at least with this, like some sort of tear in the hip flexor area up
Jeez.
top.
Yeah.
It's getting old thing.
Jake, what's broken on you?
What you got? What you got, Jake? Back pedal. That's instead of back pedal. Can we change the name of
Back
back
pain.
pedal? Back pedal. has
You
been
broke what?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Jake's gonna have good news for us. It's like 2 wrongs, 1 right.
Everything always hurts, but I've gotten used to that. But I have been riding the trainer sparingly, but I've been doing this whole like foam roll / therapy ball thing that's been actually helping a little bit. Like I've done a couple rides on the trainer where I did a workout, like a programmed workout, got through it. I'm like, I didn't have any pain. And I'm like, normally I would just get off, but I'm like, nope. I'm going to go and ride another 10 or 15 minutes and see how I feel and just, keep it zone 2. And then one of those times I started doing that. And then I'm like, I feel pretty good. Maybe I'm going to just kind of kick it up a notch and jump up into another zone and see if I can hold something, closer to FTP for a few. And I did that and I felt pretty good. I'm still like sore and I'm still dealing with stuff, but I think I'm starting to kind of maybe turn the corner a little bit.
Be able to get on the trainer a little bit this winter. Could be good.
Yeah. So, and we've changed course a little bit with how we're approaching what's going on in my hip with the therapy stuff and the acupunctures and what I'm doing to supplement that. And I think it might be working. And I'm going to be, continuing to do the stuff that I need to do off the bike to get strong. So
Zwift has a new coastal range thing. I don't know if you guys saw
they
that.
released a couple new routes. Is that right?
It's really just one like connector road, and then you can make a lot of routes out of it. I rode that the other night.
cool.
That's good.
And that's what I've been riding on is Zwift.
Have you?
Yeah, we'll see. So,
Ride the new route. See what you think.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
You can look for Sasquatch.
Yeah, we've actually got it. It's Thursday, like Lance mentioned. We're kicking off the rides that we put on Zwift. So if you're interested in ever joining us, you can jump on Strava and go to Dialed Cycling. And if you join the club on there, you'll get all the invites to those. So the first one of the season will be tonight. We normally start these earlier in October. And it's usually one of those things that we wait for the weather to turn and then I go ahead and start it. But for all intents and purposes, the weather hasn't been all that bad.
Nope, it has
all
not.
month long. So it's starting to turn. Like today, it's a little rainy, and we've got people that would normally go out and do the gravel ride that are going to be jumping on the old Zwift to get their evening ride in. But we're going to start doing our twice a week Zwift ride. So if you want to join us, come on out.
Fantastic.
Other than that, I don't have anything to backpedal because my life is boring. I work way too much. I get up too early and I go to bed early, and everything always hurts. So yeah,
Do we
that's
have
all you
any
need to know.
news? Do we have any lead out news? I mean, who's the guy that we're looking for? He has like he has a job as like a sportscaster. As
Jake
local
Bailey
news.
here,
Oh.
world's worst cycling sportscaster. I'm digging into that.
Take Dorothy out for dinner and
Champ.
not call her. You leave Dorothy out of this. You leave Dorothy out of this.
Dorothy out of this.
Such a good movie. We need to get together. That needs to be playing in the background when
It
we
should
do our
be.
300th episode.
That's right.
Yeah, stay tuned for more information on that. By
Yeah,
the way.
what episode is this one?
Oh my gosh, this is
298.
Is it 298?
298. Okay, we're getting there, guys.
I'm very confused. Yes, 298.
What's up, champ?
Champ, what has happened in cycling this last week? Nothing. It's all rumors and speculation and transfer stuff. That's really about all that's happening.
What do you think everybody's up to?
This is a quiet time of year.
It
It's like
is.
triathlon too. It's just like not a lot. It's quiet.
They're all cycling back on their doping schedules.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
also
true.
thinking about getting a gun, dealing crack, being a crack dealer. Not like a mean crack dealer, but like like a nice one. Just kind of friendly, like, hey, what's up, guys? You want some crack?
Like a nice one,
Yeah.
That's
Ricky Bobby.
They're a local nice crack dealer. Yeah.
I think.
There are some
You're correct,
rumors.
man. You're correct.
There's rumors and speculation that are happening, but I think we'll get to some of that in our hot seat.
Hot
later
seat.
today.
Ooh.
So a little teaser there for you.
If that's what we're doing.
There have been some cyclocross races that have happened, but
Who won locally? Do you know?
I do. Max Ritzau. So
Nice work, Max.
So the Cyclocross Crusade had races both on Saturday and Sunday, and they had the same podium both days, first, second, and third.
Seriously,
Yep.
same results, huh?
Yep, same results. Max Ritzau from Eugene, he's like 24, great kid. He ended up winning both days. Stephen Hartzell from Team S&M, who has had a fantastic year already. He got second both days. And guess which grandpa took third both days?
Carl Decker?
Carl Decker!
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, Carl Decker showed up and did the races and took third both days.
That's so freaking awesome. I think he's my exact age. And
He is 50 this year.
Oh, is it 50 this year? Okay,
Yeah,
so he's
I
a year
don't know
older
when
than
his
me.
birthday actually is, so
His race age is 50.
His race age is 50.
So he could be 49 still,
yeah.
but yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So that was fun. The women's race, Taylor won the women's race on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the full S&M team showed up, all in costume, fantastic. Clara showed up and won.
Did she
pretty
like
handily.
mop the field?
Did she have a costume?
They were in like
Oh, the whole group.
They were in the whole group was in a costume where they wore like, I don't exactly know what it was. They were wearing like pennies, like they were a baseball team or a soccer team with numbers on them over their jerseys.
cool.
Yeah, they all wore them, and they all in like funny shorts too. But they were
That's cool.
But Claire came out, raced in a costume, still won pretty handily.
When do you think she's going to take off? I mean, do you know when she's going to head over to
Don't
Europe?
know.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. There were races that happened. Actually, this morning was the Koppenberg Cross race in Europe that goes up the cobbled Koppenberg climb. It actually finishes on that. And I believe Clara won it 2 years ago.
Wow.
Either won it, it was 2 years ago or 1 year ago, but she was not there, obviously. But that happened this morning. It's not a World Cup race. It's just part of one of the big series races over there where all the pros actually still show up. So, interesting.
Cool.
So really no real results to talk about.
All right.
Champ out.
Champ.
Thanks,
Out.
champ. Hey, Lance, since you're going to come, before you come back and sit down in your chair when old champ's going to come out and get out of here, can you go grab that little bucket thing over there that we do the whole like Patreon thing with?
Oh, yeah.
So
Patreon time.
We made a promise. Look at Lance. He's moving all slow and gingerly.
Oh, we should have had me
Old
do
man.
that. I can move a little better than you can.
It's right over there. There you go, bud. But yeah, we made a promise last week that we're going to do it this week, and that's going to be the case. We are giving away another Dialed Cycling water bottle made
These
by
are nice people.
our friends over at Camelback. They're
To our Patreons.
super
these
nice,
people-
super expensive, and this week we're going to be giving that bottle to pull up the name, and it's.
These are random.
yep.
These are random people.
See if Matt can read this. Oh, Sarah Gates.
Sarah Gates.
Sarah freaking Gates was just on the podcast.
We should have.
just on the
would have been
podcast.
perfect timing.
Yeah, she's a Patreon as well, so that's pretty
She
cool.
went down to Tucson for a couple days. She
Yeah.
rode up what
Mount
Mount
Lemmon? Yeah. She's all over the place, and she's getting ready to head down to South America to go do a bunch of riding too.
Correct.
So
She's doing like a 20-day tour in South America.
she's making you look like a chump.
She is.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
am a chump.
thank you for your support, Sarah. We love you. And if anybody else is interested in becoming a Patreon, you can go to dialpodcast.com, click on the Patreon link, pick a Patreon level that works best for you, and we'll put your name in the hat and you can be part of this whole drawing process that we do all the time.
Fantastic.
Perfect. Hey,
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's
Hot
hot.
seat.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
is that hot?
It is hot.
That's hot.
I had to take some
All right, let's do the hot seat. Who wants to go first, boys? You guys want to
I
Roshan go
always
for
go
it?
first.
Matt's going to go first. All right.
I don't know if I always go first. Is that true?
Matt just dropped alpha on you. He's going first.
He did. I'm just succumbing.
Yes.
Matt, what's your question this week?
I'm just going to throw out one that was mentioned before, or should be mentioned at least. Wout van Aert. What are his chances at being a Grand Tour champion?
Will he win the Giro?
In
I just like
2024, there's speculation, and there's a lot of people that are standing behind us saying that he is going to be the GC hope for Jumbo-Visma racing the Giro in 2024.
Does
What
it
needs
also
to happen?
feel like the Jumbo-Visma can just be like, yeah, which one of our guys this time is going to win a GC? Because when you start to think about it, last year, not the new team, but like they had 4 guys if you count Wout.
It's like how many middle fingers do they have on that team that they can throw up to everybody else and say, "Oh,
We're going to win
yeah,
this.
which one's
And we're
going to
gonna
win?
win
Which
that.
one's
Entire team raises their hand. My turn.
No.
You don't think?
Wout will not win a Grand Tour in 2024. Actually, this article was released on Cycling Weekly, I believe, like a few days ago, about that had part of Wout's schedule for 2024. So 2024 is an Olympic year, which kind of changes things for some people.
Good point.
And so the Olympic time trial is like the 26th of July, and the Olympic road race is like the 7th of August. I think they're like a week apart. So these are close to the end of the Tour de France. So my thought is that a lot of the riders who really want to focus on the Olympics and trying to win an Olympic medal will probably not do the Tour de France or not do all of it.
Or I think they'll be okay on the Tour de France. Is probably the races. I don't know.
I think you'll see a lot of people drop out last week.
Yeah.
That last
They
week
might.
is supposed to be super tough, and
Yeah,
I
that would
think
make
that a lot
sense.
of guys are just going to go get their fitness bumps and help out their teams as much as they can, and then depending upon where their team is standing, they're
Right.
probably just going to say, "See ya."
It'll be
So-
interesting to see what teams are left in the final week.
Right, correct, because that final week is very difficult.
Yeah.
It ends with the not team time. It ends with the time trial,
Right.
and so
Can you imagine if it was a team time trial?
It's the end
You
with
guys
the
got to
team
hang
trial.
out. Sorry.
Everybody's got to make it. Yeah, so kind of interesting. So if Wout's goals for next year are to win the Olympic gold in the time trial or the road race, he would be better served by doing like an altitude camp during the Tour de France time than actually doing the Tour de France. So I don't know. So this article that came out, I think it's a lot of speculation. It came out that he was planning to do the Giro, and not. And the Tour de France was not on his schedule. So people are thinking, okay, he's planning to do the Giro. He must be going for GC if he's skipping the Tour de France and then he's doing that. So there was all this kind of speculation that happened. No, Wout is not going to win a Grand Tour. In order for him to do that, he'd have to lose like 5 kilos, which is like
12 pounds.
12 pounds, yeah. So it's a lot to lose. But my other problem with this is Wout is Belgian, right? So what are like the biggest wins for Belgian cyclists? It's these monuments. So has Wout won the Tour of Flanders or Paris-Roubaix? No. He hasn't won either of those races. For a Belgian cycling
right.
racer to not have won one of those 2 monuments, that's kind of a big deal. I think he wants to. Of course he wants to. He's been on the podium several times in both those races, but he has not won either one of those. So to be a good one-day, monument racer like Wout really is, you need those extra 5 kilos.
I'm going to disagree with you.
All right, well,
So
you're
here we
wrong.
go. Those monument races, they're every year. Wout still has a good window ahead of him of being at the top of his game and being able to win those. He has an opportunity right now to wind up for the Olympics, and those only happen every 4 years. So where's he going to be at 4 years from now? Who knows? Who knows what his fitness is going to be? Plus, that's just not an opportunity you get all of the time, and it's not every year, obviously. So he's going to wind up for the Olympics. That's the first thing. All right. The second thing is the Giro probably sets him up pretty well for the Olympics in terms of training. And then I think that you're going to see no Wout at the Tour de France. As much as I don't want to say that, because it pains me because I love watching the guy race there. No Wout at the Tour. And then at those monuments, like I said, those are every year. He can come back next year and key on those. So what makes sense? Go race the Giro, try and be the top dog there, win that, and put something on your resume that you've never had, that you have always said that that's not really your thing, but maybe now you've got the capacity to do it, and then wind up and get ready for the Olympics. And then everything else is either going to be like, if it slots in and I do well, great, but those are going to be the 2 things that I'm going to key in on for my year, and that's what it's going to be. And then to your point about his having to lose 12 pounds, he's Wout freaking Aert, dude. He doesn't need to lose 12 pounds. He can get away with 4, 5, or 6 pounds. That'll make a pretty significant difference for him. And he's got the likes of Jumbo Visma to support him through a Grand Tour. I think he needs to do it. I think he should try and do it and see what happens. And if it falls apart, then maybe you just recalculate, because it's still early enough in the, well, granted, it's going to screw up the classics, but it's still early enough to where he could say, well, maybe I'll go to the tour and ride for a couple
How
weeks
many
there.
stones is that he has to lose?
1/8 of a stone. I don't know how much a stone is.
What do you think, Matt?
I think that I kind of agree with Jake in that, like, I think a lot of these big athletes are going to be thinking Olympics. But I don't disagree with Lance. Like, Monument is a Monument. That's huge. And it's kind of in his wheelhouse. It's a little bit more in his wheelhouse than like a Grand Tour, right? Where you're going to look at 3 weeks and you're going to look at some serious climbing stages, which he can do. I don't know.
Have we ever seen Wout ride in that kind of a role where he's not going out and being the protagonist and being the one that's like not, going for stage wins on a sprint stage? I mean,
We've
always
never
out
seen
there.
him as a protected rider.
Exactly. Like, there's a lot of stuff that guy does over the course of the week. And if you look at the volume of work that he puts in over a Grand Tour, trying to win stages and doing work and support for his other team and blowing himself out, like, if you evened all of that out and put him in a GC role where your job is to ride protected, save your bullets, and put that into something that can help you win a Grand Tour around a fantastic team, why wouldn't that be something that you could do?
I just don't think. Would I love to see Wout be a protected rider and go for a Grand Tour? Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I just don't think that he cares about it.
Do you think that he looked at the likes of Sepp Kuss and like, wait, Sepp just won a Grand Tour. I know I'm a better cyclist. Maybe he's a better climber than I, but I'm a better all-around cyclist. If he can win it, granted, there's some scuttlebutt still there to talk about.
There is.
Why can't I win a Grand Tour? And like, he's wants to go down as one of the greatest cyclists of all time. So why not try your luck on a year where you've got the Olympics and then you've got the ability to maybe slot in and take a shot at this Grand Tour and then maybe a few other things earlier in the season? Why not take a swing at that? It lines up. It kind of makes sense.
Okay, so here's a question. Would you rather have a Grand Tour win or an Olympic gold medal?
Both. No, but you can do both. You can do the Giro and you can do the gold medal. But to answer your question, I think that it's going to carry more weight for a Wout to have a gold medal. I think that's
the whole world knows what a gold medal is.
And everybody's going to be watching.
Yes.
I don't know if there'll be as many eyeballs on that race as there would be like on a Grand Tour or the Tour de France, but everybody knows what that is, and it's an opportunity that you only get every 4 years.
Yes.
So it's just like in your cycling career, you're lucky if you can do 2 Olympics, maybe 3 if you've got a really long storied career, but you only get a couple whacks at that.
That's
and
true.
The fact that it's a little bit more difficult to get, it's a little bit more elusive, because still things got to go your way. You still got to.
Didn't he get silver last year in the time trial?
I don't remember.
I think he did. I think he was
in
on
the last Olympics.
Yeah.
So 4 years
Pardon
ago.
me. Yeah.
Okay.
Last Olympics.
I don't recall. It was a long time ago, Lance. That was a long time ago. So I don't know. So you honestly, you don't think he'll?
I think yes, he will do the Giro, but I do not think he will go for GC.
Who else would be their GC guy? It's not going to be Vingegaard, do you think?
No, it won't be Vingegaard.
And no more Roglic. So
No more Roglic.
who else? There's been whispers of Sepp.
Sepp has said he's not doing the triple next year. He's not going to do all 3 Grand Tours, although he wasn't planning on doing all 3 Grand Tours this last year.
Yeah, I'm still tired from watching that, but yeah.
Tired from watching.
But I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe they do make it.
Someone's just going to raise their hand on the team and be like, "My turn."
I'll be the GC guy.
I mean, for the Vuelta, does Sepp have to defend that?
No, but he said he would like to.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what he'll do.
You kind of have to say, okay, let's build this around him.
He'll skip the Giro and then
he'll skip the Giro. He'll do his work in the Tour for Vingegaard, and then hopefully Vingegaard will help him in the Vuelta.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Freaking awesome. Are those guys doing the Olympics?
Probably.
I doubt it.
Sepp maybe no, but like I would think Vingegaard would.
But Vingegaard probably will, because he's got a shot at the time trial and the road race.
Yeah,
more a shot at the time trial.
It's interesting.
So
I wonder what the course is like for the time trial, because that'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
So Matt, does he do the Giro?
Yeah.
Does he win the Giro? Do they put him in GC for the Giro? No. So no, they're not going to support him in GC, and no, he has no shot at winning. But he'll be there.
I mean, it's not like he doesn't have a shot. Like it's not as if he couldn't do well as a GC or anything. I just don't think that he'll get the nod. I mean, I think it'll be someone like Sepp. So
Gotcha. Lance, and you're adamantly against all of those things?
Yes, he'll do the Giro. No, he will not be going for GC. Man, I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see it, but I just
Do you
don't.
think
would
he's
make
going to
the
race
race.
the Tour? And do you
No.
think he'll finish the? No. Do you think
Well,
he'll start the Tour
2
and just
weeks.
not finish
He'll
it,
do
or
it.
just
He'll be a
not go at
2-week
all?
guy.
He's kind of already said, well, it's not on his calendar as of yet for this next year. Although other calendars is speculation too. Their calendars can change from month to month. But no, I think that he'll probably be better off training or at altitude during the Tour de France time than actually prepping for.
I will bet you a bubbly water that you're wrong.
bring it
He's going to do a two week tour. Like,
and then bail.
yeah, because he's going to be like, ooh, I can get the yellow jersey. That'll be fun. Do that for a little while.
Yeah, it'd be cool if he.
He is one of those people, especially in those first 3 days of the tour, that could easily, well, not easily. He could be someone that snags it.
But he's had the yellow jersey. He's already done that in his career.
Been there, done that.
Wouldn't he rather have a gold medal than a yellow jersey?
He has time to do both.
All right.
Lance Hepler,
Yes.
do you have a hot seat question for us?
Oh, man, stole mine.
Well, so hot. Just make something up.
Hot seat.
How do you fix a lower back injury?
I can't even think. I can't even think straight. Is Vanderpool gonna win the cycling world championships again?
Jij bent een klootzak.
Yeah, that's a terrible question because who knows? He is gonna race it, but who knows? He's still taking like another month off before.
I wonder
he
how he's
starts
doing,
cycling
yeah.
this race. I don't know.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, you go.
It's funny that those guys can like come into cyclocross late and be so dominant. It's funny,
Well, they're just better than everybody.
right?
Clearly.
You're like, when do we want to win? Okay, now? Okay.
Okay, we'll go do this now.
What is going to happen to the cycling world with Wiggle going into administration?
What's
over in-
Wiggle?
What the hell is administration?
What's Wiggle and who administrates it?
Are you wiggling your administration?
I got a wiggle for you right here.
Wiggle is it's a massive sporting goods company,
Yeah.
and it has a huge cycling division called Chain Reactions, if I'm not mistaken. And they do sell stuff all over the world, and they have massive amounts of inventory. And it turns out that they're having a hard time paying their bills.
Okay, so this is a
UK
British, a UK
based company,
right?
exactly.
That's the way I think of it. Is like Wiggle UK. Wait a long time for shipping, and you can still get good deals there.
Yeah. So they're going into administration, which is their way of the courts kind of coming in and taking over in terms of like what's going on with them from a business perspective, so that they can get themselves aligned and get people paid and either help make the company solvent or help it have a graceful exit, so that it's not leaving a big giant hole with all of their different vendors who they owe money to. So the problem is that people right now in the industry are they're a little bit concerned that what if they have a massive fire sale and they all of a sudden push everything out there? I mean, let's be honest, the economy right now is not great. It's struggling.
And the cycling industry is in trouble, kind of.
A little bit,
It has been hurting this whole last several
There could be a
months.
double whammy too, because we're going to have a lot of pressure for our standard like holiday shopping. Really, I mean, we call it Black Friday here in the U.S., but like it's kind of gone global. That sale timeframe, like right after for the U.S. again, I'm very U.S. centric, but I'm like right after Thanksgiving, we have this Black Friday thing where we have massive deals, and it's kind of been a bit pushed worldwide. And if you have a company like this that's like, yep, and our prices are already rock bottom.
Yeah, and there's another little tidbit that a lot of folks don't know. There's this thing called MAP, which is your minimum advertised price. In the United States, if you were a retailer, so like say a bike shop, and you want to sell goods, you have to have a dealer agreement. And a part of that agreement is that you abide by their MAP policies, meaning that you will never advertise their goods for less than the minimum advertised price. If you do that, you'll definitely get somebody reaching out to you and telling you to correct it immediately. If you don't make that right, or if you have multiple offenses, they will shut you off. They will turn off your dealer agreement, and then you can no longer sell stuff. So you have to buy that, and that's how they help protect their products. That's how they help protect, all of the different people selling their stuff, so that they're not getting people undercutting each other and whatnot here in the United States. However,
Wiggle doesn't have
in
to
the
apply
United
to that.
Kingdom,
Yeah, it's illegal.
It's illegal. The country has basically said that manufacturers cannot impose policies on the
because
different.
it's price fixing in a weird way, if you think about it.
Kind of is, yeah.
You can't make it go lower than this.
Exactly. So if you're willing to sell something for 1% over what your cost is, you can do that. You're not going to make much money, and it's not good.
In this case for Wiggle, it'll probably be a negative, because if they just need
very
to pay,
well could be. So
pay bills.
Yeah, if they've got to pay bills or make themselves solvent, they could dump a crap ton of stuff on the economy or in the marketplace for cycling, and all of a sudden that's going to affect retailers not just in the UK but around the world.
So theoretically, what's funny here is like if Wiggle gets into a situation where they're selling stuff at less than their cost, other bike retailers could literally buy it up at a better price than they could get from their than the manufacturers.
They'd really have to discount it for that, but it's possible.
Lance, I've seen it before.
I've seen it before
I've
too.
taken advantage of it a few times just because we needed certain things. And like, wait, what? You're selling it for less than what I can get it for?
Yeah.
Come on now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then there's like, if you specify like tax purposes, you don't have to pay taxes on it because you're going to
correct.
sell it again, and then it's going to be taxed.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but it happens.
Yeah. So is this going to have a massive effect on the cycling community, the cycling industry?
I think if Wiggle has a fire sale or it gets shut down and just tries to get rid of their inventory, that can have effect. They're so big. They have if they have a ton of inventory, if they're sitting on inventory like every bike related business seems to be sitting on inventory at this moment, I mean, that could have a ripple effect across the United States.
It very well could. And if it's not one of those things, it's like all of a sudden they're going to be doing this for like the next 2 years. So it's not going to be affecting them that way, but it could be something for, 2-3 months that they could be just dumping all this stuff. But a lot of businesses right now, if they're not set up correct, they're going to be in a bad way because people are going to be like, I'm not going to buy that from you. I'm going to get it over here because it's like super cheap, and you're losing out on that sale. And that's just less business. It's already not coming in the door. And these companies need to stay solvent as well. They need to be able to pay their bills. They need to pay their employees. They need to keep the lights on and pay their rent. If they're all of a sudden going from like, oh my gosh, it's that time of year where things start to dip down. It's a tiny bit seasonal in a lot of parts of the world. And all of a sudden you're losing even more. That could be bad times for a lot of people that aren't set up correctly or don't have that cushion or don't have the ability to ride that kind of a storm out. It's a little bit nerve-wracking for us at the lab. I'm not worried about it because of the way that the business has been built. We're good. I mean, we could go, for a couple months and be just fine. It's not really that big of a deal. But for other bike manufacturers, or not manufacturers, but other bike shops, that could be something that could be like a death blow to them.
If they're running really thin, this could be a dead blow.
Yeah. So
I think it's going to be, I mean, again, it's weird with them and shipping and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be a massive effect. And then I would guess, and this is again, huge speculation, that they are like a lot of these modern companies tend to run a pretty tight ship as far as inventory goes. I mean, again, if this was 10, 20 years ago, you would have a massive like warehouse full of inventory. And I'm guessing Wiggle doesn't do, I'm sure they have some sort of warehouse, but I'm guessing it's not like as massive as, I mean, the whole like just in time inventory thing is real, and it has been popular, and it's been more and more popular as like modern inventory systems kind of have taken place. And so my guess is that it'll be a drop in the bucket as far as the effect. Not that a drop in the bucket can't be an effect of some sort, but I don't think it's going to be a massive effect on the entire industry worldwide. And I think it'll be even less felt in the US just because there is a slight barrier to shipping outside of the UK when it comes to this particular company.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you're getting something big, like a bike or a trainer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you think about like, all right, I'm going to sell this for a loss, so I'm willing to go 10% under loss, but then it's like, okay, but then I got to ship it, so that's going to cost extra there. They really have to like mega discount it to get it all the way across the
I'm looking
pond.
through their website, and they have all these Black Friday deals up. What?
Not Black Friday.
What's
Black Friday has turned into Black November. So
Yes.
I'm serious.
It's already-
It's popping up. I get emails daily from all kinds of different things because, try and pay attention to what's going on in the marketplace. And everybody's already starting that process, like pre-Black Day deals, come get your stuff. Like everybody's trying to get ahead of it because they're a little bit concerned. I mean, things are a little bit slow.
Yeah.
And everybody's fighting for business right now. Crazy. It does say here that Wiggle, and as of September 22, the group revealed that it had a pre-tax loss of over 97 million euros.
Okay.
That's brutal, and it's only gotten worse since then.
That's
so
brutal.
I don't know. It's geez.
They're probably riding real high during COVID, and then that's tricky to maintain.
Lance, are you going to start shopping at Wiggle now?
Yep, I'm going to all the sales. I didn't even know what it was when you brought it up earlier today.
I'm surprised you've never heard of that.
I think I've probably pulled it up and thought, I'm not buying something from the UK, and immediately went away from it.
You've never heard of chain reaction cycles, huh?
No.
Huh. I actually bought stuff from them before in the past just because it was good deals, and there's things that I didn't need right away. And it's not terribly long to wait to get stuff from them. I mean, I think it was like maybe a week or 8 or 9 days at most. That wasn't that bad. And if you're going to save, like if you're going to, I remember I bought a saddle, and this is before I, could take care of myself in this way, but it was like a $350 saddle that I ended up getting for like, I don't know, $180 or $190. I'm like, that's worth it. I'm like, I didn't need it right away, so just went ahead and ordered it.
You're completely wrong. The Wiggles are an Australian children's music group. They formed in Sydney in 1991.
Now that I do know the Wiggles.
You know about them, right?
I do know about the Wiggles.
Just a little bit.
I think that's a different band.
That's a different band.
I know, but still.
This is a children's group that kind of looks like they have like Star Trek type outfits, from what I can tell.
Oh, I don't know. I hope that this doesn't completely implode. I hope that they don't blow up. I hope that they're able to like survive even, but
wouldn't be good.
It's not going to be good for anybody except for the consumers short term. But at the end of the day, it's not good for the cycling community when your local bike shops or your small independent dealers are having issues because of things that are happening in the economy. And it makes it even worse when you have the likes of a Wiggle that's going to like potentially like just throw this whole tidal wave of like discounts that's going to eat up a lot of their earning potential.
I don't think Wiggle was particularly good for local bike shops.
Probably not. No,
on a whole, them kind of struggling. I don't know if that's good news or bad news.
So. Well, Lance didn't know about them, so I think we're all right.
Yeah.
Lance, did you have enough time to come up with a hot seat question?
Yes.
Is it hot?
No.
Oh no! Here we go.
It's not hot.
Okay. What?
Cold seat question.
Cold seat question. Okay, what was the favorite costume you saw at Halloween?
Oh,
that came to your door.
Oh, geez.
There was some. Okay, so this little girl was dressed up, and this is a problem because I don't know the right answer. She comes to the door, and she had like her friends with her or whatever, and she has like stitches painted. Her face was painted green or whatever. I'm like, oh, you're like Frankenstein's wife. Oh, this is. No, I'm such and such anime character, and I'm like,
That's pretty.
that was my favorite.
Obscure. Okay.
My favorite because it's just so wrong.
I've seen it gone. All right.
I don't know. It's not a great answer, but
I don't know if God, I don't even know. I had, because every year, sorry, I'm stumbling around words here. Every year, I'm the one that stays home and hands out to the candy to the kids. And I've got a whole routine down. And I do dumb things just like, like want to give them like a cool experience and give them like extra little cool things. And then I keep track of how many trick-or-treaters we get every year. And if you look at our big candy bowl, there's a Post-it note for every year from like the last 10 years that shows exactly how many people came and who came what time first and what was the last one and the whole bit. And it's just kind of been fun. And everybody kind of thought it was dumb like the first year or two, but now that there's like 10 of them in there, my whole family always goes back and like, oh yeah, this year was bad, this year was good, and like, oh, did we beat the record this year? So for me this year, I'm sitting here and I had everything set up at 5:00 because we generally get our first trick-or-treater about 5:15 to 5:30, somewhere in there. The littles, exactly. And I'm waiting for these kids to show up. And this year I had like all kinds of like glow sticks and like cool things to hand out to the kids so they can kind of make a spectacle. And then we also buy a ton of full-size candy bars. I want to be that house. I wanted the kids to come out there and, like get excited about that and tell other kids to come by. And, hopefully in that process, we won't get egged because we were the cool people that handed out stuff,
right.
That kind of thing. So anyway, it's 5:30, it's 5:45, it's 6:00, it's 6:15. I'm like, holy crap, I still have not had a trick-or-treater come by. I didn't get the very first one. I think the time was 6:28. Finally got the first trick-or-treater that came by. I'm like, oh, geez, this is going to be a slow night. And then 15 minutes later, it was just like this onslaught. And we ended up getting almost 50 trick-or-treaters, which was 6 or 7 shy of our record. So that was pretty good.
That's good.
So in terms of like my favorite trick-or-treater, I don't know what the best costume was.
We had some neighbors like 2 doors down, and their whole family did Mario themed. I thought that was pretty good.
That's nice.
The little boy was Mario, then the little girl was Luigi, and then the mom was Princess. I don't remember what the dad was, but it was like I was like, oh, this is good. This is a good family theme here. I can definitely get behind any sort of like full family themed ideas.
You don't get any trick or treaters at the compound.
Not a single one. No, zero. I mean, I don't think we've lived there for 25 years.
Do you guys even buy candy and have it ready?
No, no. Because no,
There's a gate.
The compound has a gate, and it just says "F you, go away,
go to hell, trick or treaters."
So do Cubs.
My cross country team came by.
Oh, that's cool.
Because like they're coming to dinner to my house tonight, so they had my address. So it's like that's the first mistake, and so they're just like, "Hey, what time's trick or treating at your house?" And I'm like, "Uh oh." The whole guys team. I'm like, "Come on in."
So you've never had trick-or-treaters, but let me ask you a question. What's your take on like the 13 to 15-year-olds showing up not wearing a costume saying trick-or-treat?
Oh, if they're not wearing a costume,
exactly.
That's a little bit lame, but you know, I don't care. I give them all candy. I don't care. Yeah. Spread the love. Those are the ones that if you don't give them something are going to egg your house.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I did have one little girl that rolled up. She was probably like 7-ish, 6 or 7. And I've got this big bucket of full-size candy bars. And she's a part of this group. And it was a big group and it was a mix. And there was like probably 4 or 5 kids that were like, you know, early teens, no costume on. They came up and made sure to grab, you know, a candy bar out of there. They had like a mom with them. And I was telling my wife about this. I'm like, I don't know how you would have handled this, but they were all a little bit like over the top a little bit in terms of like not aggressiveness, but just like expecting things.
Yeah.
And anyway, the mom's with them and there's like little kids, like 6, 7, 8 years old. And then there's like teenagers. And then there's this mom who's wearing we'll call it a sexy police officer outfit that was borderline probably not something that she should have been wearing out there. I'm like, you're out here trick-or-treating with your kids and that. I'm like, yeah, to each their own. I really don't personally care, but I'm like, some other people might take it for this. But this little girl comes up and she puts her hand in there and she like the claw went in there and grabbed like 5 or 6 candy bars. I'm like, oh, no, just one there, kiddo. Nice try though. And then the mom kind of comes up and she pushes the kids over. She's like, I'm taking this one, wearing her sexy cut. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh!
Like it's one thing for you to be wearing that, but nothing. But
here?
yeah, anyway, that is what it is. But going back to like the best costume, I can't remember who was the best, so I don't know. There was just a bunch of cool little things out there.
The best costumes I saw at the costume race was there was a whole team that all dressed up as the Average Joes, the dodgeball team from Dodgeball. So they're all in their Average Joes outfits. In, you know, like
that's great.
Their race kits, and as they came around the team tent, there was like 5 or 6 people with dodgeballs that were just
hucking them at them. That's rad.
Came by.
What team was that?
It was a mix of people. It was
it was a composite team.
Yeah, well, it like
just friends.
It was just a bunch of friends that did it, so that was kind of cool.
Right on.
Yeah,
cool.
Other than that, that's it.
All right, cool. Let's move on.
Guy.
I gotta rock out here.
Matt, you want to do one last thing?
I'm posting a third video in the series for Apple Watch Ultra is running with the Apple Watch Ultra.
I haven't got to watch the bike one yet, but I will check that out. How's it doing?
I changed the thumbnail, see if I can get it to come
generating
around.
some. Yeah,
it's a little slow. It's okay.
Yeah, it's Matt Legrand though. It'll get watches, plenty of views.
Fine.
Cool.
It'll be fine.
Matt, get out of here. You got crap to do.
Yep. Do you need like a kidney belt and like some headgear and some boxing gloves?
Do you want me to help you cash that check? I'm happy to help you.
Bye guys.
Take care, buddy.
See ya.
Lance, you got one last thing for us?
One last thing for us. This weekend is the Obra State Championships for cyclocross. I will not be attending, but it is at Fernwood Quarry. So Saturday will be the state championships, and Sunday will be the regular Cross Crusade race. So that's what I know is happening and coming up in our local race scene. I'm not going to make it.
Bummer.
Yep.
Cool. My one last thing will be the 300th podcast is coming up. So this is 298. We'll do 299 next week. And then the 300th, we are tentatively looking at November 12th, which is a Sunday, and we're tentatively looking at 6 p.m. as a time, and we're going to do a live broadcast.
Cool.
We are reaching out to a particular location where we have been before, and we want to see if they will have us back again. And if that's the case, I think it's okay to mention it'll be Ben's Bottle Shop if we can make it work, which is in Vancouver, Washington. So stay tuned. If we can make that work, we would love to have a big audience come out, check out the podcast. And if anybody has anything that they would like to throw at us to potentially talk about, we'll take those too. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Or we could just do it in your family room.
No.
That'd be funny. Your wife would love that.
yeah. Maybe we'll have it over at Matt's house, and his wife can.
Just do it at Matt's house. Kristen will love us.
Matt came over here and he's having his cross country team over tonight, and he was getting his house ready, and he tells his wife, "Oh, I got to go do a podcast."
She's like
You're
frantic
what?
cleaning the
This
house.
Is like, this is your thing, and you're leaving, and I have to do all the cleaning. I don't know. I think Matt might have taken a couple body blows in that,
Yeah,
but
Matt's in trouble.
yeah, as he should be, right?
He should be.
Cool.
We forced him to come here anyway.
There
so.
you go. Cool. And then one other thing too, while I have your attention, we do have our Slack channel that we've set up for the general dialed cycling community. If you're interested in joining that, you can go to dialedcycling.com. There is a tab at the very top menu under fun stuff. You can click on that and there is a join the dialed Slack. So basically the way that Slack works is we actually have to send you an invitation via a link, and these links are only good for a certain amount of time. So we just can't have a live link up there all the time. So what you do is you go and you fill out this form. As soon as we get that from you, you'll get a response back from one of our people on our team, and it will give you a link that you can add yourself to that. And there's a bunch of cool stuff in there, and the hope is that we can have a lot of great communication, topics of discussion and sharing information. And if you got questions, you can do that, and you can have access to Lance Hepler and ask him all.
I am on that channel as well, so you can direct message me. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, if you want to check that out, go to dialcycling.com. Otherwise, we will be back next week with another one of these. And until then, bye for now.